On this Sunday night, it is the last thing New Brunswick needs in the middle of historic flooding: rain. The St. John River just keeps rising, threatening homes and businesses. And now, what's in that water is a whole new threat. Also, tonight, when damage control goes really wrong, Rudy Giuliani tries to set the record straight on Trump and Stormy, but in a clarification just comes a whole lot more confusion. And move over LeBron, the young Canadian basketball star with his eye on the NBA. This is The National. New Brunswick needed a break today. It didn't happen. The days of rising waters were supposed to end, but the long-awaited peak of the St. John River has now been pushed ahead for a few more days. And people are left to just watch the elements toy with their lives and their homes.
This is was our deck, our sunroom. And we are safe, everyone. I don't want anyone to worry. We're not going to put ourselves... This is Grand Lake. Oh, boy.
More than 1,100 residents have registered as evacuees, a number that has grown day after day. Now there are warnings the water is spreading danger because it's overwhelmed the sewer systems and unleashed contamination. The Coast Guard is helping out, but the province still says it doesn't need a military intervention. Now, the worst of the unprecedented flooding affects the southern parts of the province. The hardest hit areas are along the path of the St. John River. Here's the CBC's Jayla Bernstein with the view from there.
There are no signs of retreat from the swollen St. John River. It's flooded downtown Fredericton and swallowed shorelines as it travels south, submerging homes and leaving the terrain unrecognizable along its path to St. John. What really stands out when you get a view from the water rather than from land is the contrast in the damage here. Some people are high and dry, and then just meters away, other houses are submerged.
Where's your deck at? Where can I get into?
For people here, it's been days of steadily playing defense, and they just want to see the water go away.
Pull the plug, please. That's all I can say.
Until the water does recede, river patrols are out every day, checking on those who choose to stay behind. We spent the day on the Harbor Princess, watching emergency crews in action. Patrols face all sorts of submerged surprises, including floating debris. And when they do make it to dry land, it's a matter of canvassing homes now cut off from the mainland to make sure residents are safe.
Those people that are surrounded, that are threatened by water, we would still strongly recommend they leave. There are other people that have found a way to sustain their existence. So, you know, if they're there and continue to sustain themselves, then we'll support them as best we can. But we have an understanding of how bad it's going to get.
Despite those warnings, residents like Herb Shoebridge are sticking it out.
I've got a 15-year-old dog that is, you have to figure out what you're going to do with the dog. And then my wife is blind, so that doesn't help. And so I said, what the heck?
What comes next depends on the weather.
If anybody had that 1-800 number to Mother Nature, to ask her how long it's going to be, but you can't predict anything. You just have to ride it out.
And Jayla Bernstein joins me now. Jayla, I know it's a little hard for people to see, but I gather you're actually standing in the rain, which cannot be a good sign. What's the outlook there?
Exactly. The rain is coming down here in St. John along the harbor, and the rain's expected to continue tonight into tomorrow morning. What you have to consider here is that the ground is already so saturated here in St. John. Plus, we have a snowpack still in the northern part of New Brunswick that's melting, feeding into that swollen St. John River. So that all spells out really bad news for the already mentally and physically exhausted residents here.
Yeah, they really do need a break. Jayla, thanks very much.
Thank you.
So let's get some perspective on the scale of this flood. 10 years ago, similar conditions raised the St. John River to 5.2 meters in the St. John area. A legendary flood in 1973 was even higher, 5.4 meters. Those numbers were old news by Thursday morning. This morning, a new record of nearly 5.7 meters and counting. As you saw in Jayla's story, there are a lot of damaged houses. So what are the options for homeowners? Most basic home insurance policies don't include overland flood insurance. But over the past several years, following damaging floods in Calgary and Toronto, several companies have started offering overland flooding insurance for some homes. But here's the thing, you have to ask for it and qualify for it to be added to your policy. For homes that aren't covered, residents can apply for government disaster assistance. New Brunswick offers up to $160,000 for homes and $500,000 for small businesses. One potential snag: if you are eligible for that overland flood insurance but haven't purchased it, you might not qualify for government help either. Here's a look at what else we're working on tonight. You'll hear from a grandmother who just found out she has a grandchild. She didn't know this child existed. Now she's going public, saying she wants custody. And it's down to the wire for Chrystia Freeland and NAFTA negotiations, why this is the make or break week. First, though, Rudy Giuliani seems to be trying to set the record straight on what Donald Trump knew about those payments to Stormy Daniels. But as Paul Hunter tells us, the U.S. president's new legal advisor seems to be generating more confusion than clarity.
As Donald Trump himself has put it, his new lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, has some learning to do. When did Trump know of the so-called hush money for adult film star Stormy Daniels? Said Giuliani today.
But it could have been recently, it could have been a while back. Those are the facts that we're still working on and that, may be in a little bit of dispute. This is more rumor than it is anything else.
Timing matters because for Trump, the issue is whether the money paid by his then lawyer Michael Cohen in October 2016, then reimbursed by Trump, was to keep Daniels quiet about her alleged one-night stand with Trump to protect Trump from scandal in the last days of the election campaign. Legally problematic. Here's Trump last month.
Did you know about the $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels? Then why did Michael?
This weekend, the New York Times suggested, in fact, Trump knew of it months earlier. Today, Trump advisor Kellyanne Conway tried to clarify Trump's comments.
I will tell you, though, in speaking with the president just yesterday, when the president said no on Air Force One, he was talking about he didn't know when the payment occurred.
Adding to the weirdness, as ever, late-night comedy.
Stormy, this is Michael Cohen. Are you alone?
Yes.
And what are you wearing?
On Saturday Night Live, Stormy Daniels herself.
I solved North and South Korea. Why can't I solve us?
Sorry, Donald, it's too late for that. I know you don't believe in climate change, but a storm's a-coming, baby.
So, too, fury aimed at the White House from Daniels' lawyer.
This is a cover-up, that they are making it up as they go along. They don't know what to say because they've lost track of the truth.
Underlining that key, lingering question, what is the truth in all of this? Paul Hunter, CBC News, Washington.
On another front, there's that investigation underway to determine if there was collusion between Russia and the Trump election campaign. Well, today, Rudy Giuliani set the stage for a possible subpoena showdown by saying that the president should steer clear of testifying under oath.
Are you confident the president will not take the fifth in this case?
Oh, how could I ever be confident of that? When I'm facing a situation with the president and all the other lawyers are, in which every lawyer in America thinks he'd be a fool to testify, I've got a client who wants to testify. Please don't. He said it yesterday. And, Jay and I said to ourselves, my goodness, I hope we get a chance to tell him the risks that he's taking.
During the presidential campaign, Trump stressed only guilty people plead the fifth and refused to provide information that could incriminate them.
You see, the mob takes the fifth. If you're innocent, why are you taking the Fifth Amendment?
Trump has yet to respond to Giuliani's comment today. So this is getting to be a make-or-break time for those NAFTA talks. Foreign Affairs Minister Chrystia Freeland is heading to Washington tomorrow for yet another round. And as Katie Simpson tells us, for some Canadian companies, the ongoing uncertainty is certainly bad for business.
Cavalier Tool and Manufacturing has been at the forefront of innovation for more than 40 years. But the plastic mold producer is having trouble planning ahead because NAFTA talks keep dragging on.
We survived an even dollar. We survived the recession in 2008. what we have trouble surviving is uncertainty. We need to know what the rules are.
Canada's Foreign Affairs Minister is trying to finalize those rules of trade as she heads to Washington for another round of NAFTA negotiations tomorrow. All three countries are trying to reach a symbolic agreement in principle by the end of the month.
An agreement in principle is simply an agreement to agree later on. But I think what it will provide is some certainty that things won't change for the next little while, and that I hope would be positive for investors.
But this economist says Canadian companies are also losing out on investment opportunities because the future of the trade deal is not clear.
The uncertainty for businesses about whether they'll have access to the North American market has played a big role in holding back private investment intentions.
This concern could grow unless some sort of agreement is reached soon. If not, upcoming elections in Mexico and the U.S. midterms could force negotiators to put their work on hold and delay talks into 2019. But industry insiders who are consulting with the government on the talks appear optimistic about this round of meetings.
I think there's real will around that table with those partners to get an agreement in principle, and then everybody count on staff, officials, and the industry to take it over the hump.
So Katie Simpson on the road again joins me now from Washington. Katie, you know, we talk about winners and losers. Is there anyone who actually benefits from all this uncertainty around NAFTA?
Yeah, there is, Adrian. There is one country that does benefit from this specific uncertainty. And if it isn't Canada and it isn't Mexico, it can only be the United States. Donald Trump has actually bragged about how he likes this kind of chaos since it can attract jobs to the United States. Because if you're an investor and you're looking to build a factory or put money into a new startup, are you going to risk doing that in Mexico or Canada if you might not have duty-free access to the United States through NAFTA? So if there's no trade deal, there's no guarantee you get duty-free access, and that means the safest bet is to set up shop in the U.S.
The art of the deal in all of this. Katie, thanks very much.
Thank you.
So Katie mentioned two key elections that could delay this NAFTA deal. You've got Mexico's presidential vote. That takes place July the 1st. The Constitution there bars incumbent Enrique Peña Nieto from standing again, and a new president could mean changes to Mexico's negotiation strategy. And then there are their U.S. midterms on November the 6th. Now, depending on the outcome, Congress may reject a deal even if the leaders agree on one. And if NAFTA talks are put on hold until 2019, that means negotiations will last at least 17 months. Now to Manitoba, and the story of a grandmother who wants custody of a granddaughter she didn't know she had. Sandra Fiddler says the governments of two provinces kept the girl's birth from her, and until after the child was put in the foster care system. Now she's going public and taking her story to Rosa Marcatelli.
The news came out of the blue in January. A Manitoba Child Services worker handed Sandra Fiddler a piece of paper with a little girl's name and birth date on it.
They did play God.
Fiddler's daughter, who struggles with addiction, had the little girl in BC 2 years ago.
She belongs with our family. She belongs with families that love her. That is part of her. We're blood.
Fiddler is already raising the girl's 3 siblings. She says the BC government went to court to get permanent custody before even telling her about the girl. That shut her out of the court system by leaving her no chance to apply for guardianship.
It's very mysterious to me how this came about.
This social work professor calls what happened inconceivable and says family should be the first option.
That this very central piece of how child welfare workers are trained and how they're directed, how the legislation and policy frames their job. They acted in contravention of all of that.
In emails to go public, BC's Minister of Children and Family Development tells us she trusts staff are exploring this matter thoroughly. Manitoba says if there are viable family options, that is always the best option. Fiddler wonders why she was kept in the dark for so long. When she asked, she says social workers told her she had too much on her plate and her daughter didn't want her to have custody. But both the girl's biological parents, who can't be identified, tell Go Public they do want Fiddler to have custody.
Confused, very confused about everything. I would like it with me, or if I can't, then to my parents, to my mom.
Fiddler did get some good news after Go Public put our questions to both provinces. The BC government paid for her to visit the little girl for the first time. We caught up with her again right after the visit.
There's no words. It was so exciting. I got to hold her. She gave me a hug. We had her face to face. It was such a beautiful feeling.
But Fiddler says that visit ended with bad news. She says she was told the child's foster family has now applied to adopt the girl, making the situation even more complicated.
Rosa, thanks for joining us. This is a hard one. What sense do you get from looking into this? Was this a mistake that was made, or is it protocol?
You know, Adrian, we spoke with a number of people who know the system well to try to get a sense of what you're asking there. You know, from child protection lawyers to social workers to academics, they all tell us the same thing. Priority number one is for social workers to determine if placing a child with family will work. And part of that is notifying extended family, rather, to see if they can or want to take the child. This situation in particular is unusual in a lot of ways, especially since, you know, the woman who contacted us, Sandra Fiddler, is already caring for the little girl's siblings. We know no other extended family was contacted after the girl was born. And one really strange thing is that the BC government went through the court system to secure permanent custody of the girl before exploring the possibility if a family member could take her in. So a lot of questions here, Adrian.
So again, is it your sense that this is maybe a one-off, or is this happening more often?
You know, it's really difficult to give you a sense of scale on this because there are strict rules around disclosure of information in cases involving children in care. So really, we can't get strict answers. What I can tell you is the rules are pretty much the same across the board. Priority number one is placing a child with family members if possible. So in this case, again, a lot of questions remain.
Rosa, thanks very much.
You're welcome.
If you have a story you want our Go Public team to investigate, just email gopublic@cbc.ca. Ahead tonight on The National, in a country where dissent can put you in danger, one man seems to think he has to try. He has nothing left to lose. His entire family died when a Siberian shopping mall went up in flames. Now he wants justice and answers from the very top. But first, she helped expose farmers' market frauds in a marketplace investigation. Now she's the one being kicked out of the market. And he is being touted as the next LeBron James. In tonight's national interview, RJ Barrett opens up about following in his father's footsteps as a basketball icon.
He's at like every game. He's always there. Throughout the game, if you're watching me, I look over at him a lot, and he just makes a certain face, and I just know what it is.
Here's what we're watching tonight, a slice of paradise that looks like the bowels of hell right now. This is Hawaii's Big Island, where an earthquake struck 3 days ago. That touched off hundreds more quakes and lots of eruptions by the volcano Kilauea. Today's lava flows destroyed at least 2 more homes in a subdivision under siege. 2 more volcanic fissures have opened up, making at least 10 since Thursday, and these are dangerous. Along with hissing steam, they give off noxious sulfur dioxide gas and the unearthly sound of large, loud bubble bursts. Just listen. Like rocks in a tumble dryer, one resident said. More than 1,700 residents have been told to leave their homes, some frustrated, others resigned.
My neighbor Larry, his house is burning down, so it's real. It's hitting.
The U.S. Geological Survey says more earthquakes and eruptions could cover the area with plumes of ash. This earth-shattering event is far from over. Oh, look at that. Scenes of helplessness and panic in Turkey's capital this weekend. Drivers trying to escape their vehicles as flash floods sweep them down the street. The rain was expected to last for 4 hours. Instead, it all came down in 9 minutes. And that celebration tonight after Lebanon went to the polls for the first time in 9 years. At stake, the future course of a country long known for containing all the divisions of the Middle East. True to form, the 2 main rivals reflect opposite sides of neighboring Syria's civil war. A Saudi and Western-backed coalition of Saad Hariri against the Iran-backed Hezbollah. The final results won't be in until tomorrow, but despite all the apparent enthusiasm you see, turnout appears low. We have an update tonight on a CBC Marketplace investigation. When you shop at the farmers market, you expect the produce you buy to come directly from farmers. Turns out a lot come from a wholesale depot, making them not that different from grocery stores. David Common found a pair of farmers who wanted more honesty at their market. The reaction wasn't what they hoped.
Astrid Mansky is looking for a new place to sell her farm's honey after a farmer's market battle between those who buy produce wholesale and sell it to customers and people like her who actually grow it. And the market is throwing her and 4 other farmers out.
I was shocked. I didn't really understand what this kind of action is, how that's going to help the market. It doesn't make sense. You know, why kick us out?
Her story begins with a CBC Marketplace investigation.
We're inside farmers' markets.
The homegrown ones, are they yours then, or?
Are you really buying direct from the farm?
Which found vendors at farmers markets claiming to grow produce they actually bought at a wholesale food terminal.
Consumers are paying a premium for your product because they think that you grew it. Are you ripping people off?
No. Why would you say something like that?
We've got great food. I totally understand that, but we've been...
Mansky and berry grower Sam McLean were among those arguing the market needed to be clear with its customers about who was growing and who was just reselling.
So this is the letter that you received from the organizers of the farmers market?
Yes.
The market didn't like the attention and has now tossed these actual farmers out.
So this letter, which is kicking you out, says one of the reasons you're losing the right to be at the farmers market is for speaking publicly about the farmers market and portraying it in a negative manner.
They're giving us the message that we're not allowed to speak. We haven't got a Canadian right.
So to pull the rug out from under us, so to speak, and take that market away from us, now we're left with a crop that we haven't got a place to sell.
Meanwhile, the Peterborough vendors exposed for misleading consumers about what they actually grow will be returning to the market this season. The Peterborough Farmers Market wouldn't talk to us on camera and didn't respond when we asked directly if this is about the farmers complaining about resellers at the market. They did, though, send us a statement saying that vendors should work as a team and treat each other with respect. In the meantime, Mansky and McLean are looking elsewhere. 2 farmers now not welcome to sell at their local farmers market. But those they were complaining about, the resellers, well, they're still there. David Common, CBC News, Peterborough, Ontario.
Next on The National, he is set to become one of the biggest basketball stars ever to come out of this country. Tonight in the National interview, we sit down with 17-year-old RJ Barrett and his father, who also just so happens to be Canadian basketball royalty.
He was always competitive, but I saw for the first time like a lion coming out. Like, you know, he got him in fouls and the kid was going to the bench. He says, "You can't guard me." And I was like, whoa, is this my son?
RJ Barrett, the latest and some say the biggest name in basketball to come out of Canada. He's already got the hardware, including a recent Harry Jerome Award, an accolade usually reserved for people so much further into their careers. He goes by RJ, but his full name, Rowan Barrett Jr., carries a lot of weight. His father helped put Canadian basketball on the map. CBC Toronto host Dwight Drummond has known the family for some time, and so he caught up with father and son earlier this week.
Quickly goes the other hand, and Barrett throws it down with the left hand. And he says there's more where that came from.
Oh, RJ Barrett. Triple-double threat. Underneath, Barrett slams it home.
At just 17 years old, RJ Barrett has won
every major award a high school basketball player could possibly win. In fact, this young man, with the same baby face I've seen for years, is already being touted as the next LeBron James.
Come in is R.J. Barrett. Barrett just keeps smoking.
Perhaps his biggest accomplishment to date, leading Canada to a historic win over the U.S.
He has been utterly sensational.
Before ripping apart Italy to win Canada's first ever gold medal in international basketball competition.
I've made a decision that next year I will be attending Duke University.
RJ was the #1 rated recruit in the world before choosing to play basketball for powerhouse Duke University this fall. But make no mistake, he's headed to the NBA and quick. Right now, nearly every basketball expert on the planet has projected him to be the #1 pick in next year's draft. And if you ask RJ, that sounds about right.
Pretty simple, go to college and go to the NBA and be a star.
And right there with him, throughout his journey, his father, Rowan Barrett, a Canadian basketball icon himself.
Here comes Rowan Barrett. Career high gets even higher.
I've known Rowan Barrett for years and have seen firsthand just how special this relationship is. I recently visited their family home in Mississauga, just outside of Toronto, to catch up and see how father and son are doing after this whirlwind year.
Being the most decorated teenager playing basketball in North America right now since LeBron James. I mean, it's hard for me just from the outside to fathom, but what's it like thinking about it from the person who actually pulled it off? Because when you look at that award, that Naismith Award, and you see those names, that's basketball royalty. Kobe's on there, LeBron's on there. It seems like it's not even sinking into you, man.
I don't think it really has, sunk in yet. Just, I don't know, I had so many goals and I was able to achieve them and I'm really happy, but there's so much more that I have to do, so I feel like when it's all said and done, I'll really be
Then
able
you're
to
gonna look back?
Yeah. I mean, everything, that's happened this year has been great. I enjoyed the ride, but it really all started when, playing for my country.
That's a big deal for
yeah.
you. Is that because of your dad and he did it too?
He did
I mean, he's got his
Yeah.
Team Canada jersey up on the wall in this house, but now you can get your jersey up there beside him.
For sure. So, that means a lot, just continuing the legacy.
I think we were only 16 at the time, right? Were you 16 or you just?
I just turned 17.
Okay, you just turned 17. Talk about that experience representing Canada and bringing us our first gold medal like that in competition.
It was tough. At the beginning, I was the youngest guy. I had to earn my respect, earn a lot of things. But as soon as we got to the tournament, we just started clicking together. We had an early loss, but then we were able to, knock off the U.S. and just.
You say that so nonchalant. I don't know if it was a knock off the U.S. I don't know, like the world basketball powerhouse who wins everything year after year. This was a first for Canada.
I feel like we had guys that played in the U.S., so they're going up against American guys all the time, so no one was scared. Yeah. So.
And when you got off that plane and you came home to that hero's welcome, come on.
See, we didn't really know. We won, and then we're like, okay, what happens now? And then when we got home, everyone was there. We were surprised, but we also realized we did something great for the country.
I still just, I listen to you talk now, and I listen to you like you're happy, you're smiling. None of this is getting to, it's not going to your head at all, like all of this?
Nah, I have many people in my life to keep me grounded, so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Who's that? Is that mom? Is that dad?
Mom and dad all the time.
What do they tell you? What are some of the lessons you get? I'm sure a little brother's like, whatever, you're not that good.
Exactly. It's kind of hard when your dad's an Olympian. So when you do things and you realize, okay, well, his jersey's on the wall right there. He's done a lot more.
Do you remember watching him play when you were younger? And did you want to be like him?
I remember in Europe watching him play, and then I would run on the court and try to shoot after. So
do what he did?
Yeah, so I just remember, always trying to follow him.
So if he made a basket, one leg up in there, you'd go and
try to practice those moves.
He'd be always on the court after the games and shooting and coming into practice. And the great thing was that my professional team always had a club team at the lower ages. So while I was playing in the men's, he would be playing with the children.
And you got to wear the same uniform as dad?
And he got the same uniform as dad and everything else, and he had the same number and everything else. And it was good early beginnings for him.
Did you know right away, did you have this plan in your mind that, this kid is going to be a baller, man, like his daddy?
You know, initially, no. I mean, you never, you know, when they're young. But this was actually his first team in Canada when he came here to live.
Ooh, look at that
right?
picture.
The technician, right? right, when he was 8 years old. And it was at that time he came in and he said, right after this, like 11, turning 12, he said, Dad, I want to make the Hall of Fame. I want to be an NBA champion. I want to make the NBA All-Star team.
And a lot of kids will say that at that age. You know, you go to schools, you talk to kids, all the kids, they want to be the next Michael Jordan. What did you think as a dad when you're hearing that? Did you want to temper his expectations a little bit?
You know what? I tried to temper with letting him know what it was going to take. I was like, so you understand this means that this is going to be some early morning stuff, you know, before school, you know, before your buddies wake up, you're in the gym, and like you understand what this is. And he's like, I'm ready, Dad, I'm going to do it. I was like, okay. Took out the whiteboard, we wrote NBA Hall of Fame on top, and then we just started writing all the years down to his current age of 11 at the time. And so his first goal was like, by the time I'm 13, Dad, I want to be #1 in Canada. When I'm 14, I want to be #1 in Canada and top 10 in the United States. And by 13, he was #1 in the US, and he's been ever since.
At what point did you realize that he was going to be the phenom that he came to be? Because I know you two must have played one-on-one, and I know your kid wants to crush you.
We were playing one-on-one, you know, but Daddy still has the crown, okay? You know, I haven't played him in a couple years. You know, I got a bad back.
Smart,
you know, but,
that's the excuse.
I got a bad back.
We're going to stick to it.
But, you know, I saw it actually on the floor against the other children with him. You know, it was in 7th grade. He was finally playing his own age because he'd always played above his age. And he had these goals about being #1 and wanting to be this guy. And I said, well, RJ, you know, this game you're about to play now, they're saying that this guy is the best player that's in this country. That's your age. And I said, so those kind of goals that you want, well, there he is. Go get him.
Show and prove.
And oh my God, what he did to this kid. You know, I mean, he was so competitive. I saw for the first time, he was always competitive, but I saw for the first time like a lion coming out. Like, you know, he got him in fouls and the kid was going to the bench. He says, you can't guard me. And I was like, whoa, is this my son? I gotta have a conversation with you after the game, son. We don't do that, son. Like, what's going on? But I saw a lion coming out.
He's at like every game. He's always there. Throughout the game, if you're watching me, I look over at him a lot, and he just makes a certain face, and I just know what it is. So we had that certain type of connection, you know, off the court to, you know, loving father, always there for my brother and I.
That is a special bond, you know, but that name came with some pressure.
Yeah, so.
And in the GTA anyway, right here, man, like, you know, he was basketball legend in this town. When you were coming up, people must have been like, oh, that's they must have seen that Barrett and said, well, you better be able to play.
For sure, when I was younger, that used to happen a lot when we'd go out places. You know, oh, you're Ducky's kid? And stuff like that. There was a little bit of pressure when I was younger. I was still trying to prove myself. Everyone would say I'm just getting things because of my dad, but now I'm able to say, you know, I've actually worked for all these things, and it's going great.
You got your own.
Yeah.
Trying to surpass them.
Yeah, trying to surpass and be my own person. They're gonna be like, oh, that's RJ's dad. So.
We're gonna end it right there. He's not gonna be happy with it, but we're gonna end it right there, man.
If RJ Barrett is picked first in next year's NBA draft, he will complete a Canadian trifecta.
With the first pick in the 2013 NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Anthony Bennett of Toronto, Canada.
With a fist bump and a smile, Bennett made NBA history, becoming the first Canadian to be chosen #1.
Andrew Wiggins.
A year later, it was Andrew Wiggins who stepped up for Canada, going his first pick. And in his debut season of 2015, he became the NBA's Rookie of the Year. Now, right after the break, a father becomes an overnight activist after losing everything in a tragic fire that sparked rage across Russia.
До этого, пока мама там с сестренкой общалась, она, крики детей слышала, там вообще, ужасная истерика, паника была. Все, последние слова Игорюша, я тебя люблю.
Позор!
Across Russia this weekend, there were scenes of defiance, demonstrations against the country's president, Vladimir Putin, who was recently re-elected in a landslide. Police were out in force. Hundreds were arrested, including prominent opposition figure Alexei Navalny, who managed to appear at the Moscow protests for maybe 5 minutes before being carried off. Now, those calling for political change say they run up against a pervading sense of futility. But according to some critics, Russians also pay a price for apathy. About a month ago, a fire in a Siberian city killed dozens, many of them children. And that fire left one man with nothing but a cold certainty that the system is to blame and that he has to change it. Chris Brown has his story in this dispatch from Kemerovo, Russia.
On a rare weekend getaway with his buddies, young father Igor Vostrikov was missing his family back home in Kemerovo. His wife Elena stayed home with their 3 children, and Vostrikov's younger sister Alonia kept them company. He sent them this message.
My wife.
The next time Vostrikov would talk to his wife would be a day later, in a call that would shatter his world forever. There was a fire, and they were all trapped.
Позвонила, сказала: Игорь, мы заперты в кинотеатре. Но они уже задыхались на тот момент. Я говорю, уже мы начали восстанавливать картину. До этого, пока мама там с сестренкой общалась, она, крики детей слышала, там вообще, ужасная истерика, паника была. Все, последние слова: Игорюша, я тебя люблю.
The 2 women had taken the kids to see a matinee at Kemerovo's Winter Cherry Mall. They'd been in a cinema on the 4th floor. The fire spread in seconds. No alarm sounded. Fire escapes were locked. There was no announcement of danger. Some people jumped for their lives out of windows. But families with children had no choice but to hope help came to them. It never did. 60 people burned or suffocated to death in Kemerovo's mall that day, among them 40 children. Elena, Anna, Artyom, Roman, and Alyona, Igor Vostrikov's entire family, were gone.
Вернее, даже можно сказать, что на тот момент я утратил вообще смысл своей жизни. Моя семья — это было для меня все. И я не знаю, как действительно там до суицида не дошло, но не было у меня таких мыслей. Но я не знал, как мне дальше жить. Я нашел себя именно вот в этом моменте изменить что-то, сделать что-то для России, чтобы смерть моих близких, она не ушла просто так.
So Igor Vostrikov is mobilizing a movement on social media with over 170,000 followers so far. He posts daily rants about how the government has failed not just people in Kemerovo, but all Russians. As awful as this must have been, he videoed himself walking through the burned and gutted movie theater.
Посмотрите, ее здесь нет. Total corruption. Люди понимают, от чего это все. Вот я вам лично свое мнение скажу. Пожар этот случился, и люди там погибли, моя семья там погибла. Виновата в этом наша система управления. Потому что люди берут взятки, с удовольствием это делают. Нету никакого чувства того, что их могут наказать за это.
The city's fire chief is among those charged, but Vostrikov says the rot starts at the top.
Наш царь Путин — это он войдет в историю как один из самых худших правителей в истории вообще Руси.
In the days that followed, thousands protested in the town square. But in Putin's Russia, anyone who wants to promote change is seen as a threat to the regime. In this unbelievable exchange, the deputy governor of the region accuses Vostrikov of trying to stir up trouble.
Молодочек, вы что, хотите попиариться на горе? У меня погибла Востриков, сестренка Сабадаш, Алена Игоревна, жена Вострикова Елена Сергеевна, 3 детей, 7, 5, 2 года. Попиариться пошел, да? Правду! Правду!
What the Kremlin fears most are street protests that could threaten Putin's grip on power. The trolls spare no one, not even at the memorial next to the shopping mall. This isn't the place to do politics. You don't make politics on the blood of the dead. This is dirty and ugly.
In internet, очень много мусора, как мусора. Shit.
Online, the abuse has been even worse.
Это, за деньги люди делают, развернули против меня реально информационную войну.
But Vostrikov says he's not afraid of what could happen, so he forges on, holding daily meetings with supporters to talk strategy. Should his new political movement try to elect candidates or hold more rallies? Many we spoke to wished him well. He's a good guy. He's found energy to dig into all this, to dig up the truth. I support him, said Alexander from nearby Novosibirsk. The last place Vostrikov saw his family alive was at their apartment. He took us there only briefly. It's too painful to stay long.
Просто хочу, чтобы все лежало, запах их, то есть там, не знаю, подушки еще, просто все это здесь.
The kids' bedrooms, the kitchen, it's as if everything is frozen in time.
Я для себя решил, что они живы, что они просто легли спать. Они просто легли спать, а мне надо еще поработать немножко, и я к ним тоже присоединюсь.
Vostrikov's political mission is what keeps him going, but he's up against a system that considers opponents as potential traitors, even if your whole family is wiped out. Chris Brown, CBC News in Kemerovo, Russia.
It's hard to appreciate how tireless Vostrikov has been since the fire, possessed by purpose, trying to manage that grief.
Кредиты, зомбирование телевидением, пропаганда.
In one of his dozens of videos published over the last month, he called out Russian media as propaganda that, quote, zombified the population. Now he says he wants to create his own media organization. That's a tall order for Russia, where much of the media is state-controlled. As we go to break, we want to tell you about a special series you'll see here starting tomorrow night. We're going to be telling the stories of young Canadians facing immense obstacles in the midst of life changes. On Monday, you will meet Stefan Alexis. The 24-year-old has put his hopes and dreams on hold to help his parents care for his younger brother, who has cerebral palsy.
When people think about a caregiver, they generally think about a female. It's a very easy assumption to make and a very easy picture to paint. Watching my dad taking care of Tor has impacted me in a pretty significant way because he's shown me the other side of masculinity. He teaches me how you're supposed to be attentive to certain things and how you're supposed to take care of your family.
So here are some of the stories we're following this week on The National. The man accused in the Toronto van attack is scheduled to be back in court on Thursday. It's expected Alex Minassian will face 3 more counts of attempted murder. He has already been charged with 10 counts of first-degree murder and 13 of attempted murder.
In front, safely scores!
And tomorrow, you know we're watching two nail-biters. The Winnipeg Jets could take the Western Conference semifinal with a win against the Nashville Predators, hopefully.
Off-balance shot. Oh, my goodness.
And after LeBron James beat the buzzer last night, the Toronto Raptors will have to beat Cleveland or they are out of the NBA playoffs. And we've heard a lot about loss in tonight's program. Homes lost to floods, lives lost to fire. Sometimes it's loss that reminds us we are not alone and that even strangers will rush to offer kindness when it's needed most. In 2015, Jennifer Neville Lake and her husband Edward of Brampton, Ontario, lost their 3 kids along with Jennifer's father when a drunk driver struck their vehicle. It has been 3 years, but that kind of pain doesn't just go away. The same cannot be said for the roadside memorial that the family built at the scene of the crash. This bare patch of ground once included flowers, teddy bears, and a bicycle anchored to the ground, all gone after a windstorm swept through southern Ontario over the weekend. But that is when nearby residents Jennifer and Arcangelo Alviano stepped in with some stuffed animals and a rosary, a small start to a new memorial. That single act of kindness from strangers is our moment of the day.
When Jennifer posted last night saying that everything was missing, it broke my heart. I couldn't sleep last night knowing that the memorial was gone for the kids, so we just wanted to come and show her that we've got her back, and we're always thinking of them. They're always in our hearts.
That was so kind of them. That was so sweet of them. It's just so nice to know that they remember and that they cared enough.
And that is a national for May the 6th.